Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Number 720 Sierra here. I am inside today. It's kind of nice out today. It's a little overcast, not as bad. It's not raining today like it has been, but I'm inside because I'm working on the seat. I put down a towel here because I got lots of metal shavings all over the place. So this is all the hardware that you need for the latch for these seats. And I've been dealing with this for 4 or 5 days trying to figure out the best way to do this. And I still am, kind of going through this as I can. Not having an engineering background, it's a little tougher. Anyway, what I've done is I code all of these pieces in place to see where they go, right? And as we all know, we build our airplanes 2 or 3 different times. So I coded down, and then I riveted in this piece, and unfortunately I riveted these 2 holes here that are opposite these ones, and I didn't realize, I forgot that this piece back here goes in there. So I had to drill out a couple of rivets here. So I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rivets in. Most of the rest of this I've just clecoed, but I took a lot of these pieces out because I got to put them back in an order. And so you can see the underside of this is just that one piece here and that one here. And then I went ahead and countersunk these 3 holes that they tell you to, and of course I got my countersink. Let's see, countersink kit with pilot cutter that I got from somebody. I don't remember who I bought it from now. Anyway, so it worked out well. It's not totally countersunk down here, but it's real close to. It's lower than a rivet would be. So I think that's good enough. I don't want to cut any more into this material and go in the wrong way. So come on, there we go. So it's pretty low. It's not exactly flush, but it's pretty close. And I just don't want to cut out any more material in here. So I've been trying to figure out for a while what's the best way to go put all these parts in. And so I have parts here and stuff like that. So on this one piece here, and I forget the part numbers now, but this goes into the handle and it goes up here. And the only way that you can get this in is when it's off. Because once it's in, you really can't get it off. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten this one up all the way, because once it's in, you cannot. Once it's in, you can't do it. You've got to be outside the system. Let's see, that should be fine there. Let me double check that that's maybe a little too tight. That's got to, because I don't know exactly where this has to go. It goes like that, so that should be fine. And this piece had to do that first, and then I can put in this piece which rotates this handle here. And once those 2 pieces are in, then I'll need, I need to put this one in also. And I think it goes right here. No, maybe not. This one goes by itself, but it sits right here. And this is where this cable rides in this piece and goes around the corner and over to the middle. That's what that is. So I've got these pieces sitting here. It's just, non-engineering background. It's a little difficult to try to remember how to figure out where all these pieces go exactly and how they work together. So it's not terribly hard or anything, but it's a little challenging. So this one does go through this hole here and into here. So I'm now that I've tightened that one up, I didn't want to turn it on until I showed you that tightening up that one. I think that's the best way to go. So let's flip this over and put this back in here and cleco that piece back in. There it goes. Okay, so I need some clecos. Okay, and another one, so I will have that locked in. Okay, I think I'll do this one out here. There we go. Okay. Then I will work on putting this piece in, but I have to do it from the other side. And all of these pieces, once you get all of this done, then this piece has to go in up here to close everything. But as you'll see, there's some pieces in here that are on the bottom. They have these upper and lower, there's 6 holes right here and 6 right over here. And it's got to slide up underneath for these parts here. And they're difficult to get in completely correctly. So I've been trying to figure out how I was going to put those in, and I think I've figured out that I put one in. Okay, so you got 4 here, so I can't put 2 clecos next to each other here. I'll have to do one here and one down here, and then can rivet the top. And when that plate slides in, hopefully it gets real close to that, and we can put the clecos in and get it done. But anyway, like I said, not easy. You have to think about it a lot. And once you get all these in, at the end, even though you have the little washer and nut on there to hold it, you got to take it off and put it through that tray on the top. So it's not exactly easy to get all this lined up perfectly. It's not. So let's see, if I put one here, then put this here, then this here. Okay. And then I'm just going to put them in hand tight, not tighten them all the way down, because it's got to come off again, and I don't want to go through the nylon part and lock it down. I did on that first part. You saw me do that a few minutes ago. So I can tighten this up just a tiny bit, but not too much, because I don't want to get it too much, because I don't want to get into the nylock part. There, okay, just a little bit more than hand tight. And that rotates that. So that'll come up and do that. Okay, so I may need to push that a little bit like that, but you can just do that by hand. Because once you get that first one in that I did here, you cannot get in there to work that. So you've got to figure it out ahead of time. So anyway, so that takes care of that. And then I've got to work on this one. And this one does go through this plate and this plate here. And it is difficult to get it in there, as I will show you here in a moment. Okay, and this comes from the other side. And it's another one of the ones that you had to countersink. Okay, so put that through there. And then this has to go on. And then this has to get underneath that. And then it goes up and through this plate here. Okay. All right. And that you have to I had to bend this up in order to get it the first time, to get it on there at all. So you're gonna have to bend it down a little bit. I had to. Maybe you guys are better than I am and can do that without doing that, but I don't see how to get that without that. So, okay. Here we go. Okay, bend that down just a little bit and put this bolt on here. Okay, that looks better. Alright, so now let me hold that just a tiny bit and tighten this up just a little bit. And again, you don't want to tighten it up too much because you have to take it off and put it on that plate. So once you get this done. All right, so okay, so now this goes here and over to that one. So when you pull on this, it pulls that. Okay. Good. Okay. So now what I have to figure out is, now I know this one here goes in there, and this is the bolt for it, but I've got to put these things and those on before I attach this into there permanently, or semi-permanently. And then all these get put on. Now, I put this on backwards initially, so like this, and then I was messing with some stuff and I went, oh, this does not work. Okay, so what did I do wrong? This goes up, so this goes up and it comes over top of this, and there's a cleco goes in, or a rivet goes in right there. So just watch out for that so you see that. Okay, so it all goes in perfectly well. I mean, this is engineered well, just tough to get it all the pieces in correctly. All right, let me turn this off for a minute and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so on this piece here, I'm going to connect 28 and 30 and the single piece onto this piece. But I've got to put it on this piece first, and I've got to tighten these down. So 30 is, I've marked my, let me see. What I did is I marked my plate. 28 goes that way and 30 goes this way. So 28 goes towards this and it goes in the back. So it's like this. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to mix, I'm going to put these together on this plate here, or this piece here. And again, you have to put this in first because there's no way that you can get to that screw to tighten it up once you have put it into place. So you have to do this ahead of time. And these two screws also, from here and here, I'm going to have to go ahead and tighten those all the way down on the nylock washers. So let me work on that for this side. So that's in there tight with its washer and everything. That's not going anywhere. Now I've got to do the other side. Let me check on one thing and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I have to put these other ones on. And take that out of there. Looks like I tightened that one a little bit. There we go. Well, when you tighten that one down, it tightens this one down, so don't do that. Okay. That one on top, and this one on the bottom. Alright, so I gotta loosen this one up a little bit, this other one. Guess I shouldn't have tightened it down until I got both sides done. It's not terrible, but it's not the easiest thing to do either. Okay, now if I can hold that and put the bolt down through it. And I need a washer. Nylock on that one, hand tight. Now I can tighten these up, I think. So these have to be tightened before you can put it in there permanently. Because once you do, you can't get to it underneath there, so you cannot tighten these up. At least I don't see a way to do it. Alright, so that goes on that side. Oh, that's interesting. How is that going to work? No, this may be wrong. I might have done this backwards because I'll bet that that goes through there. Let me recheck those instructions. Okay, so I got these backwards. My mistake. I had labeled these parts 28 and 30, and they're actually reversed. So I've corrected that because this little piece that goes up in here, it has a place on the top where that wire can come through and go on that pulley over to here. And it gets and it gets like that. Okay, and then this will go in here. All right, and then of course this one will go on over here. And it's gonna go that way. But anyway, okay. So, those are done. I've not tightened these up. I'm gonna tighten those up now. Then I have to put the middle pin in that goes through here. And then we'll have this set done. And then we go to here and work on the two outside pieces and start getting them in place. All right. Okay, what do I, oh yeah, here we go. And this likes to bang all around on me here. Sorry if I'm blocking your way, I'm just getting the pliers and trying to tighten these up now that I've got them correctly. And you'll figure it out just like I did. We make mistakes and we fix them and we go, wait a minute, that's not right. And you look at it and you go, okay, I gotta fix that. So it is what it is. All right, so that's nice and tight. Okay, and that goes like that. Okay. All right, so now I have to come in from the seat over there, but in the meantime I have to put this up in here. And once I get the bolt through, then I got to put this little collar on, and then the nut and the bolt have to go through that too. So let me work on that. Kind of get that in place. There we go. Now we're going to get that little collar on. Which is, of course, difficult. And you drop it a bunch of times like I do. Yep, okay, that's got that now. Now we'll put that washer on and the lock nut and not tighten it down too much because this cover has to go on just like these over here. But we will lock it down just a little bit. Okay, a little more than hand tight. Okay, so now the cables are in and I've got to start moving these things in place. But that one goes that way. And that's okay. I still got to do a couple other things. I put the cotter pins in, but I've not bent them back, so I'll do that off camera. All right, the cotter pins have been put down, and I am now working on putting these in. So, not an easy job because you really need to do both of these sides at the same time, which makes them hard to do. And then I need to go on the other side and put one in on that side so that it holds them in place. And then I'll get to that side. All right, and then another one of these has to go this way. over here. And yep, I need another one of these. Okay, so put in all 3 here. And then try to flip it over and get these in its outside spaces. And of course it's not where it needs to be, but that's okay. I'll work on that. Okay, so I don't have the best lighting in here, but okay. All right, there's that one. Okay, there's that one. That's the outside one, by the way, it's easier. And now the middle one. There, okay. And then the inside one. There. Is that correct? I can't quite see. Let's see. Ugh. I don't have that one lined up on the inside, so let me check. Okay, so it's still a little wonky here. And probably need one over here on this side. So let me get 3 more. Alright, so, alright, there's that one, and that one. Okay. Alright, so there's that side. Now, still don't know, I haven't tried this yet to see. Oh, that's right, that has to go this way. Okay. And this needs to be tightened up in that position. Wow. That's gonna be tough. Okay. Alright, well, okay, so let me put this one in first. I gotta take those 2 out. This is a standalone, so now you gotta line up 2 things all at once while you're trying to do this. Not great. Oh well. It'll be fine. Good thing is I can put a Cleco in here and here. Okay. On top of this, and then later on put it in. Okay. That's what I'll do. Got those 3 there, gotta do these 3 here. And this one goes in like this on the inside. Should have brought my other Cleco pliers in, the ones with a magnet in them. Put it in a little bit easier. Okay. And then this one goes on the outside here. into there. Alright, and now I gotta line those up on the other side with 6 Clecos on the other side. Alright, well you saw me do it here. I'm going to do it here. I'll struggle with this for a while. Okay, so I got all of these Clecoed in place, and I understand how the mechanism works. However, it's not working correctly. So, obviously I've done something wrong. However, what I'm asking about, and this is what I don't know, it looks like this has to be held in place when it's this way. Okay, and I don't know how to get that to stay in place when there's tension on it, and how to get it to stay there, because the one bolt does not make sense to me on how to keep tension in that to keep that straight, so that when you pull the handle, these pull the pins in. Okay, if I push the pins in, you can see how it goes straight. So that's got to be correct. Everything else is correct. But how does it do that? How does it stay there in that position like this? And that I don't know yet. So I don't know if I'm missing something. I don't see anything. I don't have any parts left over or anything. So I'm going to have to do some more studying up on that. But you get the idea of how this goes in. If you have ideas on how that locks into position in this rotation, or whatever you want to call it, this plane, please let me know, because I don't know. Maybe it's just you tighten the crap out of this when that is held in position like this, when this is like this. So I don't know, but everything else appears to be correct. It's all into the right. Clecos are all in the right places and everything for that plate. Now, once these are all riveted in fact, that's another thing. This is interesting. Here, you cannot rivet these in here, because all of these, there's a plate here, and this has to slide up underneath that before you rivet it. So that's another challenge that I'm going to have in trying to figure out how to do that. I just don't know how to do that at this point yet, because I don't know how to keep these in place when that goes up over it, and that bolt goes right here, and this bolt is here, and this bolt is up here. So they got to come off, get put on here, where all these Clecos are, and I'm not sure how to do that yet. So if you guys have ideas, let me know. I'd appreciate it. Alright, that's it for now for the seat. This is just the left seat. The right seat's just a mirror image of that. So once you got one, the rest is easy. Alright, thanks guys.